Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. Born to be Wired presents John Malone's career as a long, practical lesson in building communications and media businesses at scale. Known publicly for his role in shaping the modern cable industry, Malone frames his story around turning infrastructure into advantage, expanding television distribution, investing in networks and systems, and helping position the United States for the internet era. The book connects boardroom strategy with the less glamorous realities of wiring, spectrum, capital allocation, and regulation, showing how those details can determine who wins in media. It also widens beyond cable, touching on high-profile ventures and ownership stakes that intersect with sports and entertainment, including Formula One, Discovery, SiriusXM, and the Atlanta Braves. Rather than a simple memoir, it reads like a set of business observations from a dealmaker and operator who navigated consolidation, competition, and rapid technological change. Readers looking for how infrastructure, content, and finance weave together will find a clear through line in the choices and trade-offs described. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, building distribution as the core competitive moat. A central theme is that distribution is destiny in media and communications. Malone is associated with the idea that owning or controlling the pipes, the systems, and the customer relationship often matters more than owning any single show or channel. The book highlights how cable and later broadband created durable advantages through physical build-out, local market positioning, and disciplined operations. Distribution demands long-time horizons, construction, maintenance, customer service, and constant upgrades. Yet once established, networks can support multiple revenue streams, from subscription fees to advertising to data services. This logic helps explain why cable systems became prized assets and why consolidation repeatedly reshaped the industry. The narrative also underscores the role of economics, high fixed costs, low marginal costs, and the value of scale in purchasing programming and spreading overhead. For readers, the lesson translates into a broader business principle. When a company owns an essential platform, it can negotiate better terms, fund reinvestment, and create optionality for future products. The book uses the cable era as a concrete case study of turning infrastructure into a strategic moat that competitors struggle to replicate quickly. Secondly, capital allocation deals and the power of optionality. Another major topic is how capital allocation choices can outperform operational improvements when industries are consolidating. Malone is widely known for financial engineering, disciplined leverage, and a preference for transactions that expand strategic options. The book explores how acquisitions, mergers, swaps, and portfolio shaping can be used to compound value over time, especially in capital-intensive sectors like cable, satellite, and media. Instead of treating deals as one-off wins, the approach emphasizes building a flexible structure that can be reconfigured as technology and regulation evolve. That can mean buying assets at moments of dislocation, divesting when valuations are rich, or structuring ownership to maintain influence without tying up excessive capital. The practical takeaway is not that every business should become deal-driven, but that leaders should understand when corporate finance is a competitive weapon. Readers also see how governance, incentives, and patience matter. Transactions require stamina and clarity about the endgame because markets, regulators, and partners can change midstream. The theme of optionality shows up repeatedly, owning positions that allow multiple exits, partnerships, or expansions as the landscape shifts. Thirdly, regulation, spectrum, and the non-negotiable realities of telecom, television, and internet infrastructure do not grow in a vacuum, and the book draws attention to how policy and regulation shape every major move. From franchising and local politics to national rules on competition and carriage, communications companies often win by understanding the environment as thoroughly as they understand the balance sheet. Malone's career offers a window into the constant negotiation among operators, programmers, government bodies, and consumers. The book frames regulation as both constraint and opportunity. Rules can raise barriers to entry, create predictable markets, or unlock new services, but they can also impose costs and limit pricing or expansion. A related reality is spectrum and technical standards, which determine what can be delivered, how reliably, and at what cost. Readers come away with a more realistic sense of what it takes to scale a connectivity business. Legal strategy, stakeholder management, and long-term credibility can be as critical as engineering. The larger lesson applies beyond telecom. In any regulated or quasi-regulated space, success depends on mapping the decision-makers, understanding the public interest arguments, and building a strategy that can withstand scrutiny while still creating shareholder value. Fourthly, technology shifts and wiring America for the internet era. The transition from multi-channel television to broadband internet is presented as a defining shift that rewarded those prepared to reinvest and adapt. The book emphasizes how physical networks built for video could become the backbone for high-speed data, turning cable into a major internet platform. That transformation required upgrades, new equipment, new business models, and a willingness to bet on growing demand for connectivity. It also involved changing the internal mindset, from a television service to a communications utility supporting work, education, entertainment, and later streaming. The story illustrates how incumbents can survive disruption when they treat technology change as an extension of their core strengths rather than as a threat. Scale and cash flow from legacy services can fund modernization, but only if leadership chooses reinvestment over short-term comfort. Readers can apply this to their own industries by focusing on adjacent capabilities. If a company already owns assets, relationships, or operational know-how, the next wave may be reachable through smart upgrades and partnerships. The book also connects technology choices to competitive positioning, showing how speed, reliability, and customer reach can become strategic differentiators once the internet becomes central to everyday life. Lastly, content, brands, and sports as strategic assets. Beyond infrastructure, the book explores how premium brands and sports properties can function as powerful complements to distribution. References to Discovery, SiriusXM, Formula One, and the Atlanta Braves point to a broader portfolio view. Content and experiences can drive loyalty, pricing power, and differentiated audiences, while platforms provide reach and monetization. The interplay between distribution and content is a recurring media tension. Owning both can create synergies, but it also introduces complexity in governance, valuation, and regulatory perception. Sports, in particular, offers scarcity and live engagement, which can anchor subscriptions and advertising even as viewing habits fragment. Formula One's growth and the enduring value of team and league brands demonstrate how global fandom and rights management can scale when paired with strong promotion and modern media channels. The book also implies lessons about diversification. Media cycles shift, and audiences migrate, so a portfolio that spans connectivity, networks, and marquee properties can reduce risk and open new deal pathways. For readers, the takeaway is to think in ecosystems. Customer access, compelling products, and unique brands reinforce each other, especially when managed with a long-term ownership mindset. In conclusion, this book fits readers who want a grounded look at how large communications and media empires are built, including executives, investors, entrepreneurs, and students of strategy. It is also a strong match for anyone curious about why cable, broadband, and major media brands evolved the way they did, and how financial decisions, regulation, and technology upgrades interact. The benefit is practical perspective. Rather than treating business as pure innovation theater, it highlights the unglamorous levers that often matter most: infrastructure, capital allocation, negotiation, and patience. Those lessons can improve a reader's life by sharpening decision-making, especially around risk, timing, and long-term compounding, whether they are managing a company, a career, or a portfolio. Compared with many business memoirs that focus on personal motivation or leadership platitudes, this one stands out for its systems-level view of media economics and the deal structures that shaped an industry. It also offers a rare through line connecting connectivity and entertainment, including sports properties, showing how different assets can reinforce one another. If you want a strategic map of modern media built from decades of experience, it is worth buying. If you would like to support John Malone, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.